Circle it back to New York. Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs have touchdown in Vegas. Fourth time in 5 years. You know the facts of this game, of the teams taking part in the Super Bowl. They are playing with an incredible power coming into this game. Do they have an advantage, though, knowing the experience they have on this specific stage, the Chiefs, that is?
Omar was kind of hitting on it a little bit. The Super Bowl experience is like no other. There is no week where you can lean back on unless you've been a part of one. You think about how long ago it feels like Conference Championship weekend was, and they've had 2 weeks to prepare as they're going into Super Bowl week. So when you get there, you're still trying to figure out, get your bearings about you and see what to do, what not to do, and all of those things. So when you look at the Kansas City Chiefs, their advantage is the fact that they have so many players that have been there before and have played in a Super Bowl. For them, they have 36 guys that have played in a Super Bowl, 12 of which are in multiple Super Bowls. The 49ers have just 12 players. So you think about all that goes into this. You're studying your opponent, you're getting ready for the game, you're getting your body work, and all of those things that you want to talk about. Learning the game plan, all of that. The things that you don't think about that you have to deal with are all the distractions, because now you have people coming out of the woodwork from every single angle you can imagine. You have your cousins through marriage that you met at a family reunion when you were a little kid. You have that middle school girlfriend who hit you with the "What's up, big head" text message.
What's up, big
You got the high school coaches, Pop Warner coaches.
Jason, the middle school girlfriend's dropping in?
The
up,
pizza
big head?
delivery guy sent me a text the year I was in the Super Bowl. You don't know where it's coming from. And you only get probably one hotel room for family members. There's only a certain amount of seats, probably 2 on the plane that comes from the team. And you have some tough decisions to make and deal with all the logistics outside of just focusing on and playing in the biggest game of your life. So for the guys that have gone through it, you know how to say no. I can't bring you. I can't take you along. You can't meet me at the top floor and take the elevator. I've been grinding this thing out, and there have been certain people that have been there with me the entire time. So I look at this, for those Chiefs guys, the same thing Kittle's trying to tell the guys around him. The Chiefs players, they all know. They were there a year ago. There's probably a select few that are just like, hey, sit down. Let me break it down to you how all of this works. I think that's the advantage this week right now leading up to the game is handling all the noise that surrounds it.
Often you'll hear from players in the Super Bowl and say the most expensive week of their life was Super Bowl week, because it's like you can't say no. You have to find a way to get tickets. It's not like they're just given to you. You've got to find a way to get extra hotel rooms. A lot of times you hear that on like Monday and Tuesday night, you're calling Circus in the Luxor and you're like, do you have any you don't want any of that.
They got room.
Have someone else. They have room. You want someone else to be dealing with that. This isn't Zach Taylor and Duke Tobin and the mighty young Bengals coming to town. This isn't Sean McVay and Les Snead going up against Belichick. And the Niners are an institution. They are not going to be fazed by this. This topic might work with other teams and younger teams. Look who the general manager who built this thing is. This is a guy who not only has been with the Niners for many years, he was a Super Bowl superstar many years ago. He is aware of what this week is. In fact, the team they went against, the Raiders, are we going into the Barrett Robbins story?
Talk about it.
Start off the week in Vegas? Maybe, because you know what? The Super Bowl's in Vegas and things happen. And Barrett Robbins was a player for the Raiders, went missing. The Buccaneers did not have any distractions that week. They come in and they absolutely roll on the Raiders. You go from him. Kyle Shanahan's done this not only as an assistant coach, but as a head coach before. So he comes in. This was him as a kid learning about Super Bowl week. This is not some team that's going to be blindsided by this. That's Kyle Shanahan with his dad, Mike, on the sidelines for a Super Bowl more than 30 years ago.
It's like a religion he was brought up with.
He's brought up with this. This is it. Super Bowl. You think Mike Shanahan told him about Super Bowl week, or this time he's a defensive coordinator? Is that Mike LaFleur? It is Mike LaFleur. That is now the offensive coordinator of the Rams.
Pretty cool.
That is Kyle Shanahan talking to Arthur Blank. And then, of course, he was the head coach a couple years back when they played these Chiefs in a Super Bowl. So, top to bottom, the Niners have 5 Super Bowl rings. They have a coach and a GM who've been there. They've got 12 players who have played in this thing. I don't think it's applicable to this Super Bowl. This was another team coming into Vegas, wide-eyed and starry-eyed, and the young guys and young coach, maybe. But I think the Niners are coming in dialed in.
Yeah, there's a lot that went on with that Raiders Super Bowl, more than Barrett Robbins, too. Like, sometimes it just falls apart. But that felt like it's a different generation, you know, pre-social media, pre-internet, pre-everything.
Be careful what you say here.
Well, I think I'm on your point, Peter. Like, I think it's like, I look to the coaches, not so much the players. Like, do the coaches know how to run the ship? But, like, with due respect to fine American cities like Minneapolis, St. Paul, Houston, last year we were in Arizona, like, there's those. Even L.A. a couple years ago. Las Vegas is a singular adult playground set up, I mean, it's Vice City. You can't walk 5 feet. You get off the jetway, and there's slot machines like that is the point of it. So, long week. young players. I hope we're not talking about it because, you want it to be about the football. However, it's a pretty unique challenge. I mean, I would just say our brothers and sisters in the NBA haven't exactly handled it well over the years either, going to the same city. It's a different deal. So I think it's like if you're Shanahan and if you're Andy Reid, even if you were the Chiefs, never mind the Niners, the Chiefs have been to a bunch of Super Bowls. They've never been to one here. And, I actually think that there's a risk of, you go so often that it becomes commonplace that there's not a novelty of it's Super Bowl week, let's relax. We've done this a few times. We've earned this one.
I'm going to enjoy this one.
Yeah, you know what? What's a couple hours out? I'm just going to do that. So, look, I hope not. And listen, it brings a smile to my face having done this enough times. It is definitely ticket request season. Yeah. On every single network, there is an ex-pro who's played in a Super Bowl who talks about ticket requests. And Jason, it's right on cue. You guys, all you ex-pros love talking about it. It sounds like the biggest pain in the ass of all time. I hate it. I'm so glad I've never had to do it. And it becomes people are always no, it's real. It really distracts you. It always makes me think that middle school girlfriend or whoever, can they just not mind their damn business and let this gentleman have his big week? Can't they just shut up and butt out? They can't. I don't think the Chiefs will have an advantage because Peter laid it out perfectly. At every stage of his life, not even his career, Kyle Shanahan has seen how to do it. Assistant, coordinator, kid, youth, head coach, he's already been there.
Blue jeans
Yes. I think the Zach Taylor thing would have been due respect to Zach Taylor and the Bengals, they hadn't been there before.
Yeah.
They didn't really know that much. I think they all know it. I think this is what we talk about early in the week, and then maybe Tuesday and Wednesday we'll start talking about, can Fred Warner stop Pacheco? That's the fun stuff. Right now, ticket request season. Enjoy it.
As it pertains to the middle school girl texting you from, that is just the beginning of a beautiful love story, which is what Las Vegas always provides. What if she didn't send that text and shoot her shot? What's up, big head? And then he responded, and then thus begins the love that was rekindled, and it all began at the Las Vegas Super Bowl. I think it sounds like a beautiful story.
I haven't had any love stories in Las Vegas. I'll tell you that. It's a completely different thing.
There
love
are
story.
Love stories. I'm not saying they last long. I'm just saying
sure
they're
don't.
love stories.
Yeah,
exactly. I think of advantage and experience. The Chiefs have it by the numbers, but that doesn't mean that the 49ers haven't been hardened by their experience in the last 5 years. I mean, they have experienced injury and heartbreak, and the pinnacle to which the drop was so devastating for this team. I look at experience, and it's great for the Chiefs, but for the 49ers, I think they almost go in there with bigger blinders on than the Chiefs do. And frankly, to Omar's point about could the 49ers be flying under the proverbial media radar, I would welcome that if I was the 49ers. I would say, go cover your Grammy-winning boyfriend that's here. Go cover anyone who's the face of the boss, the new boss campaign, anything else besides us. It allows the 49ers to kind of keep it insular. And have we seen nothing else that bothers Brock Purdy? We have not yet, and I don't think Las Vegas is going to be the thing. And he has just really become the steadfast, front of the ship here for this team, which we were fighting, but I think it's what we're going to see from the 49ers. So.
I can't abide the end of the radar story. They're favored in this game. They've been favored in literally every game this season.
That.
Okay.
Every one, they're favored. There's no us against the world. No one believes in us. A bunch of your players have been here. Your coach has been here. This is not some Cinderella. It's ridiculous. So I understand that they don't have a pop star and all that stuff, and that's great. But they're not under the radar. This is two juggernauts, and
Also,
that's great.
the Niners franchise.
Yeah, they're there every 20 minutes. That's of course they're there.
The underdog, no, I don't buy into. But I do think that there is a radar, and I think the radar has been set by the Chiefs' coverage this season. And so therefore, someone is going to have to take second place to the radar. And so I think if it's going to be the opposing team, it's awkward to say that it's 49ers, but I do think it qualifies because of the microscope that Kansas City has been under so far this season.